Good morning and welcome. We are going to be talking about self-reported grades, and I am in cohort 13. So, to just give you a little bit of background information for Bascom Elementary. So, here's our mission statement. Does anyone want to read our mission statement? Ms. Miller?
Thank you. Bascom Elementary School is dedicated to providing a safe and nurturing environment, giving all children the opportunity to reach their highest level of achievement. This will be accomplished through effective teaching and the ongoing use of technology. Bascom Elementary will strive to create lifelong learners through the combined efforts of teacher, student, parent, and community involvement.
Thank you so much, Ms. Miller. You can have a piece of candy on your table. All right, so here is our background. This is our current data. So as of right now, we have 947 students. 107 of them are Hispanic, 14 are Asian, 43 of them are Black, 2 Indian students, 685 white students, and 96 of them are multiracial. And then our CCRPI score in 2019 was 93.9, and then 83.4 was the county score, 75.9 was the state score, and then in 2022 it was 93.5. That was our county, our content mastery score as a school. So you know, because of COVID, there was no reported scores from 2020 to 2022 because of COVID. So those are our scores. All right, so here is the Governor's Office of Student Achievement breakdown for our race and ethnicity. So as you can see that we have 5.7% is multiracial, 5.1% is Black, and 1.5% is Asian Pacific Islander, and then 77% of our student population is white. Okay. Here's our economic status. We have a very low percentage of economically disadvantaged students in our school, and 94.6 of them are obviously above the poverty line. Okay, so our students with disabilities and score over here, 15.6 of our students are students with disabilities, and then 84.4 of our population is not. And then our EL population, as you can see, is very low. 97.5 of our students are not ELs. All right, so our data team. We obviously have a group of people that are going to be looking at our data, and here is our data team. So as a team, we analyze the data to see where our focus should be for the year based on the weaknesses. So here's the data team going to be looking at that. Myself, I'm going to be our Data Dream Team lead. Katie Berry, our instructional lead strategist, will be one of our members. Bettina Miller, she is the 5th grade language arts teacher, and she's the team lead. She's going to be one of our members. Emily Lacey, she is also one of our members as a teacher on the language arts team. And then Elizabeth Fittler, she is going to be our final member on the Data Dream Team. So, as we went through the analysis, we analyzed all the data, and here are some of the things that we did. We compared the GMAS data with like schools in the district. We focused on the GOSA data for 2022. GOSA is the Governor's Office of Student Achievement. We analyzed the CCRPI 2019 data and looked at projected 2023 data to find patterns, similarities, and differences. And then we also reviewed priority standards and the changes in curriculum and the CFA data. CFA is Common Formative Assessment data. Okay, so our data focus is obviously going to be on SIP goal number 2 because that is tied to our school improvement plan. And that is to increase the percentage of students in 3rd through 5th grade scoring at level 3 and 4 on the ELA Georgia Milestones Assessment by 3%. Starting in the 2021-2022 school year. All right, here are the results. So, here are the last 3 years milestones results. These are 5th grade results. So, take a minute and look at those. As you can see, the very, very light blue were our beginning learners. The little bit of a darker blue is developing learners. Then this blue line right here is our proficient learner. This dark, dark blue is the distinguished learner. These two final corner categories are developing learner and above, and then proficient learning and above. So just kind of look at those, analyze that, and then we're going to talk about it. Anyone have any thoughts about our data for the last 3 years? Ms. Spittler?
Consistent across the board.
Consistent across the board. Okay, anyone else? Yes, Ms. Schaefer?
I guess my noticing was slightly different. It kind of dips down after that first COVID year of testing, and then it seems like we have another full year where it seems to slightly dip back up.
Okay, all right.
But we have a dip in our distinguished learner category.
Yes, for sure. We definitely are going down in the distinguished learning category from 2022 to 2023. Great observations. All right, so if we look at this, the Governor's Office of Student Achievement measures the percentage of students reading at or above 920 on the Lexile level. The Georgia Milestones considers on grade level Lexile levels to be at or above 830. And Miss Berry and I talked about that because it was a huge difference, and I went to Miss Berry and I said, why is that? And Milestones kind of lowered the score just to kind of level the playing field in a way. So we kind of looked at that. So I compared all of those, or we as a grade level, as a team compared them. The percentage of students in grade 5 achieving Lexile measure equal to greater than 920, the Governor's Office, again, these are all Bascom scores. As you can see, here is 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022. You can see our trend line is definitely going down in that area. And then here are our Georgia milestones. So with us going, our percentage of Lexile levels going up, and our percentage of Lexile levels, or excuse me, the ones that are less, and then the ones that are greater. So if you're looking at this data, what do you notice with this data? Anyone?
Trending downward. Yeah.
Trending downward, yes. So while our milestone scores have stayed the same, our Lexile levels are going down, yes. So here is the 2023 GMAS SGP. So this is the student growth percentile. So as you can see, this is for 5th grade ELA. So we had 52.87% of our students had low growth in ELA last year. So, and then 24.14% had typical growth, and then 22.99 had high growth. All right, so CCRPI data obviously was not reported in 2020 and 2021 due to the pandemic. The scores for 2023 are projected since they have not been released by the state. So the top line on each one of these are the content mastery, and then the bottom line is the ELA content. So if you look at these, here's where we were in 2019. Super, super high scores. And then here's where we were in 2022. These are predicted scores because they are not yet finalized. Again, going down in every single area. Then this is grade 5. So also one thing that we're looking at is the RCD unit data. So as you can see on this, there's only 2 units that we looked at because you know that the county pulled out all the other units. So we are only looking at 2 units. So comparing 2 units from 2022 to 2023, in 2022, the end of unit score was 58% average, and in 2023, the end of unit score was 30%. And then in 2022 for unit 4, 26%, and then Unit 4 in 2023 was 56.8%. It was very interesting to see how they kind of just crisscrossed each other. We know that the county has again modified the units just a little bit. However, the post-test has pretty much stayed exactly the same. Nothing has changed on the post-test with that. Any thoughts or questions about the unit tests on this? Any thoughts on why you think the data is so crisscrossed on this area?
I know at least with Unit 2, I know our assessments have changed slightly from the year before, so I'm curious if that modification in assessments is the reason why that Unit 2 score trended upward, because I know they tried to make those changes to where they aligned better with the RCD, the actual tasks that we were doing,
Okay,
to make the post-tests, I guess, more aligned with those tasks.
okay,
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
all right. Yes, Ms. Bittler.
My only thought process is that Unit 2, what came later in 2022, and it was informational, and this year, Unit 2 informational was the first unit.
Okay,
And that might just decipher on how their writing process had advanced by the time they reached the Unit 2
okay,
in 2022.
okay, all right. Those are great observations. So, our conclusion as we look at all of the data is that our teachers as a whole, as a school, because it builds, from kindergarten all the way up to 5th grade, we need more professional development on self-reported grades, because that is one of the things that ties to our SIP. We need to focus on continued support for identifying the needs of students to differentiate instruction through small group instruction. And then our teachers need more professional development on the collaborative assessment protocol, which you all have a copy of that as well in front of you. So, how are we going to implement this plan that we are working on? So again, our focus is on our SIP goal number 2. So again, to increase the percentage of students in 3rd through 5th grade scoring at a level 3 or 4 on the ELA Georgia Milestones Assessment by 3%. Because we did not reach that this year, we have only increased a little bit. So, we have to have a priority question. The priority question we've come up with is how can self-reported grades and self-reflection impact the overall end of unit test scores in 5th grade English language arts? So if we are working on those end of unit test scores, will they help us on the milestones? We hope. Yes or no? Yes, we hope. All right, so some of our goals that we're going to be working on as a whole, teachers and students are going to increase self-reported grades and self-reflection in English language arts. Teachers are going to conduct small group instructions in the classroom and differentiate and remediate to meet student needs. The instructional lead strategists and the administration are going to provide professional development on self-reported grades and the collaborative assessment protocol. And then the teachers, instructional lead strategists, and administration are going to analyze that post-test data to monitor progress towards the implementation of protocols. Any questions or thoughts about the goals that we have put in place? No? Okay. All right, so some of the components that we are going to work on are some of those self-reflection pieces that we want our students to be using, the self-reflected grades and self-reported grades. Obviously, we're going to be using small group instruction. We're going to be also using that beacon assessment because that helps them, number one, it helps us see the data, but it helps them see students track their progress. We're going to have some post-lesson reflections for students, and then we're going to use the collaborative assessment protocol as well. Okay? Any questions or comments about what the group is going to be doing, the Data Dream Team is going to be doing? No? All right, thank you guys so much.